Okay, we're going to be showing you how to make histograms in Excel using Excel's histogram tool. If you have a version earlier than 2010, then this video will probably be useless to you, and I'm not really sure how you do it in earlier versions. Now we're going to be making a histogram of the log 10 calculation from our raw data. It's going to be of sun leaf area. Okay, so to begin with, you need to make sure you have the data analysis add-in active on Excel. So you need to click on File at the top left and then to Options. In here you need to go to Add-ins. You can see in active application add-ins we have Analysis Toolpack. We need to activate that. So click Go, and then we want to select Analysis Toolpack. By the way, I'm going to be trying to do this with as few errors as possible, but they're definitely going to happen. I'm probably going to be having to do a bit of backtracking at some point. Okay, so first of all we need to separate the data we're going to do. So I'm going to take all of this. Also, those of you that are interested, if you want to just select the entire row, or column even, of data until it ends, so that would be this point here, you can hold down Shift, hold down End on your keyboard and press the down button. That didn't work, so we'll try that again. There we go. It might depend on which Shift key you use. So anyway, I want to copy that and just place it over here. Okay. And you can deselect the other cells by pressing Escape. Okay, so we'll then be transforming the numbers to log 10. So you need to give that a title. Here, in this cell, you need to go to Auto Sum, More Functions, and log 10, because I've used it recently, is already here, but if it's not there for you, just type in log 10 and click Go, and then it'll be there, and you want OK. And the number we want to log 10 is the cell there, and OK, and there is your result. To do the same thing for all the other numbers, you need to just grab the little black square on the right at the bottom here, drag that all the way down, and it will automatically log 10 the rest of the numbers for you. Okay, so next thing to do would be to sort these into smallest to largest. So I'm going to select them all again and sort in factor. So on smallest to largest. It'll say something about the data next to it. It doesn't really matter what you do. I found that sometimes when doing continue with the current selection only, it just didn't do anything, so I'm just going to say expand the selection anyway. It doesn't really matter if we alter this data, because once we've changed it we're not going to be using it again. Okay, so now we have all the numbers arranged smallest to largest. Okay, the next thing we need to do is decide on the class intervals we're going to use for the histogram. So just write that here, class intervals. If you double click between two cells and on the border, you can automatically make it the correct size. Okay, so as we've seen in class, we've been doing it at a 0.20 class intervals, like this. So what we need to do is we'll be starting at 2.60, because 2.6 is the lowest there. So what we need to do is put in one beforehand, which is 2.59. Okay, I might get things wrong from here because I've been doing it a little differently recently. Okay, so 2.59, and then 2.79, 2.99. So from this point, Excel, or even earlier than, we can get rid of this one, Excel will notice a pattern, what you're trying to do here. So if you select both of them, grab this again and drag it down, and as you can see 2.99, 3.19, 3.39, 3.59, 3.79, 3.99. I believe that's the highest we need to go for the class intervals. So just check. Shouldn't be anything higher than 3.99, which is true. Okay, so there are class intervals. Right, from here we're going to start using the Excel histogram tool. Okay, so if you select data at the top, and then over here we have analysis and data analysis. If you hadn't activated the add-on earlier, this won't be here. Okay, so we'll click data analysis, and right here we have the histogram option. Click OK. Right, our input range is our log 10 values. When you're selecting them for this, I recommend doing this just to avoid confusion. Click this arrow, and you must include the title. Otherwise, your first value will be your title and will not be included in the histogram. So select all of that, all the way to the bottom, and then click the red arrow again. So the class intervals are, Excel calls them addin range, and these will be your class intervals. Once again, you must select the title. Okay, we will want labels, and we want to put it on this sheet. So we need to select output range. If you select new worksheet fly or new workbook, it will open it up in a new window or a new tab down here. If you want it on this sheet here, we need to use output range. So from here it's asking for a cell. So I've just put that right next to what you've been doing already and click down again. And then OK. And after this it will make a nice table showing you how many of these data sets are within each class interval. So as you can see, between 2.59, it's actually looking from between 2.6 and up to 2.79, there are 3 sets of data. 1, 2, 3. From here, you need to manually enter the ranges of the class interval. Up until now, Excel has been doing it automatically for us, and has been doing a lot of things in the background. So we'll need to be typing in 2.60 to 2.79. From here, 2.80 to 2.99, 3.00 to 3.19, 3.20 to 3.39, 3.40 to 3.59, 3.60, 3.79, try to keep them all 2 decimal places, 3.80 to 3.99. Okay, when we're making the chart, that's all the data we need. We'll be going straight on to making the chart now. As you can see, there are 0 data sets in here, which adds up to here, which means there's nothing below 2.59. Okay, so what we need to do is make the chart. So insert, select everything that's relevant. We don't want the 0 data sets, so just select all of the others. Must be both columns. And then you select column 2D, keep it nice and simple, and there we go. Almost done. Right, so what we have now is a pretty basic chart. I'm just going to make it look a lot nicer, get rid of these gaps between the bars. As we can see, the log 10 has shown a nice trend. So if you right click on any of the bars, go to Format Data Series, and right here just want to pull this over to no gap, and they'll all come together. While we're here, I'm going to be giving each of the bars a border to separate them. So at the moment it's just one big block. So if you go to border color, change it to solid line, and at the moment it's a blue solid line, which is the same color as our chart. I want to change that to black. And that's apparently done nothing, so I'll just do that again. Solid line, black, and there we go. Okay, just select this and press delete, or you can right click and delete. We don't need that. Right click on any of the numbers on an axis. Again, we're just making the chart just look a bit nicer. Right click on any of the numbers on the axes. Add major grid lines. Again, right click, add minor grid lines. Over here, I want to add minor grid lines. The major grid lines are already there. Okay, so it's a lot easier to work your way across and see exactly what number you're looking at with the grid lines.